understand what this terrible disease was. So in 2008, she was diagnosed with lupus, went through the terrible battles in and out of sickness and learning much about it. She passed away in 2013 from just right after being diagnosed with it. So just like anybody else, just understanding that lupus affects, right now is about 1.5 million people in America that has lupus. So that's about 16,000 cases each year, new cases of lupus being diagnosed. The largest majority is women, and as they say today, the largest majority of people being affected are the minorities. And leads me to believe that's why there's not much awareness nor research or effort being given to finding a cure. But I don't want to beat us up, but we have to do more for ourselves, guys. We have to be more involved. We got to be a little bit more proactive than reactive. We get involved when things hit us. So we got to kind of open our heartstrings a little bit more to issues, not just, when it hits us. We have to have an understanding of what goes on around us, our environment. One of the biggest issues that we deal with in our community, that is one of the main, I won't say it's a cause, but it's a symptom of lupus, is depression. And in our community, is for being minorities, or we have so many different things that attack us as far as depression is concerned. So we really got to come together and bring some awareness and have those open discussions and be, open-minded to discuss our issues and deal with depression. Because depression can be very sneaky. There's two types of depression that I like to discuss. There's one that's called a clinical depression. And, there's research out there, and there's people out there in a situation. This is a real thing. Depression is a real thing. But I'm not talking about that clinical depression, which, that's something you really can't do anything about. But there's one thing that we suffer a lot from, and it's called self-induced depression. And we can do something about that. That's my definition of sitting around thinking about what happened to you versus getting up and making something happen for you. That's an excuse to feel sorry for yourself. So we got to fix that self-induced depression, because it can lead to clinical depression. Am I making any sense? Yes. Okay. So I don't want to sit up here and sound like I'm preaching to everyone. This is an open discussion. I'd like to hear what everybody else have to say. And let's talk about it, like the young lady said, about it, and have an open discussion and see what we can do to start moving forward with helping each other with lupus and everything else, other diseases that we suffer from in America. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Larry. I do want to ask a question. When you first found out about lupus, did you immediately go learn about it, or did you start learning more about it whenever your daughter was diagnosed?
Like I said from the beginning, honestly, I started learning more about it when my daughter was diagnosed. Because, I'm human just like anybody else. Things don't get serious to us until it gets out our door.
True.
And as a father watching my child suffer, I wanted to figure out what was going on. How can I help? What can I do? And one thing that I've always been an anonymous giver. I do things quietly. I don't need the accolades. I help people. I do things. I'm always doing that. But when she was suffering and before she passed, she asked me to make sure I come out of the shadows and do something for people, let them know that, hey, you're the one helping people. There is an advocate out here that's really helping people and not just doing stuff for the newspapers and for the promotion, that you're really helping people. So in my quest to learn more about it, she was first diagnosed with discoid lupus, which affects the skin. So being in the hair and skin care industry, I developed different types of products to help fix that. So she was like, Dad, you can do more, you can help people. I don't want people suffering like I did. So use your connections and whatever you can to help people. So that led me to own the Organized Foundation and the product line of legitimate skincare products. And the money that I make from that goes towards helping other people and deal with it versus just giving it to some big name charity like I've always done, and I don't know where that money's going. And I give that money directly to the people that I know that's effective, and I know what it is. Like I'm always doing.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the skincare line?
Yes, it's called Legitimate Look Hair and Skincare line. I have what's called a bump control, a conditioner, a lotion, a hair pomade, and an astringent. And what they all are the same ingredients. They're natural ingredients. I ended up creating a System 6 because that's the different type of treatments applications I would do to help my daughter. She would have flare-ups. I couldn't use the lotion sometimes because her skin would be so tight, it would hurt. I created a spray to help reduce the inflammation so it would cool her and calm her down. And just over time, and she loved to keep her hairstyle, so I created a type of spritz that didn't have alcohol in it. That would she keep her hair up where she could style. I was trying to help her keep her confidence up. But in doing that, really just trying to help my daughter deal with her pain and stuff, I ended up coming up with a product to help, that really, really works. It's really great. I use it myself. I have a ton of clients that use it, and it really works. But it was birthed out of me, ease my daughter's pain.
Now, where can people find that?
You can find it at Legitimate Look Barbershop and Salon at 12600 North 10th Avenue, Suite C. We sell it directly there. It was online, but I took it offline. I do direct. It's not for, honestly, I'm not just trying to put it out there and say I got a product. I really want to contact the people because it was birthed for a different reason. So I like to deal directly with people.
Right. I'll know that. My last question.
Like there's no cure for it.
Right.
And I'm tired of hearing that. I believe in a higher power. I believe in myself. I believe that I'm part of that higher power, and everything that I say and what I put my mind to, it happens. I believe that my voice works with the universe, and the universe works with me. So when I say I believe there's a cure, I send that out, and the universe will send that back, if that makes sense.
Yes. Thank you so much, Larry.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna ask you, is it genetic or, I know some people have lupus. I used to work with a lady that had lupus and she would be misworked quite a lot. So, I know you said it's different types, am I correct? Did I hear that?
Yes. There's no one type of lupus that affects people differently. You and I can have it, but we can have totally different symptoms. I could have diabetes from it. You could have rheumatoid arthritis. She could have no symptoms at all.
So, if you have children, or do they inherit it, or it's just something that comes, we don't know, how does it work?
Well, that's the mystery. It's called the mystery
That's why I didn't hear.
disease. It is an autoimmune disease, and it's called the mystery disease because there's no one symptom alike, and it's commonly misdiagnosed because, like I said, we we don't really jump when people say lupus. We hear about people. I guess we need to start changing the way we say, even me, my daughter died from lupus. Because she died from complications of blood loss, kidney failure, things like that, heart issues, because it attacks the heart, it attacks the lungs, it attacks the kidneys. It makes its body turn on itself. So it acts like a cancer. There's a lot of research for cancer, but lupus causes all those issues that cancer causes. So they have treatment for it when the treatment for lupus should be the same type of treatment.
But maybe you should continue to say lupus, that way it'll be, people will get more involved and understand what it is. By her going through different cities and by her going to different cities and towns and taking out the time to make people aware of what it is, maybe there will be more research, maybe more people will get involved, and maybe more people will take it serious. But you have to get out there, and if no one gets out there, nothing will be done.
And
So you have to go out there. And by her being aware, and you're speaking up on it and telling your story, that should make more people aware of what it's about.
That is the goal, and that's why you hear me say lupus and other debilitating diseases.
Right.
And other, because again, there is lupus, but there are other debilitating diseases. So let's talk about them all while we're saying that. So that's when she asked me, did I do research? That's what I found out, and that's what I'm learning. So that's why I just can't just talk about one, because there's more than that.
I appreciate your information. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I actually have lupus and I have RSP, which is also known as complex regional pain syndrome, and that also doesn't have a cure. And they say 1 out of every 100 million people have it, and just so happen to have it. Also with lupus. So now you can't tell, but I haven't been my big toe back in over 15 years. Because my brain told my foot that I have a physical injury. So now I have a physical injury. So complex regional pain syndrome was also known as the suicide disease. So for the longest time, I thought I was just a cutter. I was like, oh, I'm suicidal. That's all I thought, because I didn't know what else. I knew I was in pain, but the doctors were lying to me. So I was like, oh, well, if they lying to me, then... But me not knowing that they lying to me, I'm just thinking, oh, these is doctors, they telling me the right thing. I came here, I paid my money, they gonna tell me I'm good. So I'm good. So I'm just making this up. So I'm thinking I'm making it up, I'm good. But the whole time, not only did I have lupus, but I had another autoimmune disease that was known as the suicide disease. So instead of the medications that they would put me on, psych meds, and I was on 800 milligrams of Seroquel, I was on Tylenol, and those are tranquilizers. I got all the way up to 300 pounds. So I was like, let me start keeping my meds and start figuring this out on my own.
Exactly.
And I ended up finding out on my own. I went to a million different doctors before I found out that I had complex regional pain syndrome. I just knew that I wanted to die all the time, and I didn't know why. But now that I know what it is, I'm able to self-talk. I'm able to talk to myself, because back then I didn't know. I thought I was just depressed and angry and just wanted to die. And I didn't know that it was because I was battling something other than just lupus.
And it's good you said that when you were talking about the doctors. That's one thing that I want us to address for ourselves. The thing that I'm noticing that needs to happen, there need to be more people in the medical field that look like us. Because contrary to the notion, it's sad but it's true. The idea that we can deal with a high tolerance of pain, and it's actually in the medical books is taught that. And the biggest thing we need is an advocate, to be advocates about the medical industry.
I want to interrupt. It touches home what you just said. So I actually started my podcast last year in June because I was held hostage at Campus Integris for 10 days. And I had a migraine for 3 weeks. I didn't know what was wrong. I just knew I had a migraine that I couldn't get rid of, and I've never had a migraine before in my life. Now, if I would have had more of us in the hospital, I would have been good, but I didn't. So every time my wife would leave, they would try different medications on me that wasn't even out, and they would tell us, oh, we're doing all the pain medicine, nothing worked. They was taking my spinal fluid. Everything that they were doing just didn't make sense. And then they gave me this one medication that they called the last resort medication to test my tolerance. Now, I swore to God that it was the lethal injection because it burned me from the inside out. Like, they had to do so much to get my body temperature down. And they put the pillow over my face, hid my phone. And the only reason why somebody came in there to help me was because I pulled my IV out and crawled to the door. And this white man seen me on the ground. And he made them come help me. They wasn't trying to help me, but the doctor was on call saying, well, did it work? So I don't feel like I should have made it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. But I did, and they changed my record, so I'm fighting it now. But yeah, they don't care about us, especially in the hospitals. So I started my podcast to make people aware that, listen, if you know somebody that's in the hospital, you do a wellness check on them. If you know somebody that's in the hospital and they in there by themselves, go sit with them, check on them, make sure that they good. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to talk about Lupus, and we're going to hear some good music.
I want to say something before I get down. With what she said about wellness checks and checking in on your people, here's something we want to make a constant practice. If you have a loved one that's ill, that's going to the doctor, the first thing you want to do, make it a practice. Take your pen and pad. When they walk in that door, make the nurses give you their name.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
The tech, the nurse, the doctor, even the person bringing the food, ask them what they're feeding you, what medicines they're giving you, and why. Give you education. Write that down. Be your own advocate. Get names, phone numbers. Make sure you get an understanding. So many times, and I've been there, we go to the doctor, we're so much in pain and we're stressing and we're sad that our loved one is going through anything. We hold our head down and we too busy crying and in shock and letting them tell us whatever, and we don't understand nothing. We leave that hospital with a bag of medicine and have no understanding of how to take it, what it's for, and why. Simple mistakes is being made with our elders with medicine and our youth with medicine. They tell you to take this prescription 6 times a day. That means every 6 hours, not 1 time 6 pills. If we do that, that'll happen. It's a common mistake. It happens. They give you a pen until you give yourself an injection. You can overdose because honestly, most of us don't know what 0.25 is or 0.5. It's the simple little things that we just take for granted, but we sit there and we let them tell us whatever. So we got to be advocates for ourselves and be more aggressive about the information we take in. And don't just take that medicine just because they tell you to. You know, this is the time of information. Pick up your phone, Google it, and read about it, learn about it for yourself. And get serious about what you're putting in your body. Have some education about your food and your times of eating and things like that. The best way to cure a disease is to prevent it.
Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you guys for being here. I'm about to get the music started, and then we're going to get our first artist.
I'm on some bullshit. $1 million bag. Hey. They gon' feel me. They don't, they ain't still smiling like they feel me. They lying, but it's okay. Cause no matter what I promise, make a way. And I'm not on no way. Pumping on no brakes. Come on, tell them what. Bossy, I be. It's not hard to see. If you saying something different, you ain't know. If you come around with ill intent, I'll feed you info. You can take them to the other clique. Cause you a goofy bitch. And I added up to the million. I was trying to spit that real shit. A lot of real niggas
I know that's right, the couch. I know that's right. Yeah, Mary Marie. Yeah.
And I ain't never giving up. No, no. And I ain't never giving up. No, no. I came a long way from the pen all the way to the stage. Hey, hey, I ain't never giving up. No, no. I ain't never giving up. No, they try to keep me down. No, no. This was hard for me, and if you ain't never been to get it far from me, yeah, because you will be judging me, and I ain't got time for me. So all the talking that you do it kinda testing me, and I don't wanna go back to the yard. I just wanna be a motherfucking
Star, yeah. Stress free, lupus free, never hungry.
Bills paid, family laid, that's what I want for me.
Yeah.
Let me see one fight over top five. I will give you no reason. This follow the season. This is not no drill. I see from that country, don't mean it because you are not no skill. If they gonna be back down, tell them to relax. I ain't got no chill.
Because you run from other nonsense. Turning all your photos and wash away your confidence. It's obvious. You gotta sit back and just acknowledge it. Do the complete opposite and turn it to a positive. Straight streakers get you hit no scholarships. Game pass for women on ass, never the colleges. Straight playing no technologies, young niggas that's popular. Everybody got a gun and shoot the kid and rob the shit. I'm ready for the West End. But niggas still ain't that bad. Just because a nigga probably fresher than the next man. I ain't trying to.
I happen to tell you it's long, you know the real though.
Give me the combination to the safe so you know the deal, ho. Think of these unpaid actors. On point, yeah, forget my pesos. Ain't in the summertime yet, and I'm bringing the heat though. And all of your media bringing the free throws, huh?
Niggas so focused on me, stay praying on these
Cause the bitch got a fetish, huh? Come to that cash flow. I be all in your ass, no. See, these bitches be talking, these bitches be flexing, but I am the captain and not the lieutenant. Tell them. Come on, what? And I'm back in the Chevy and spinning the block. Yeah. Yeah, the bitches, they with me, that bitches online. Yeah. Mary Marie and Marie on fire. Yeah. Just pressing on next and I'm never gonna stop. Yeah. Yeah. Took a lot of losses. Can't go cause I bounced back. Enough to get my attention. Leaving the bitches to breathe. Okay. Time to show you on that bitch. Hey, they made up my mind, yeah.
I'm getting fire, got ladies inspired, I'm niggas desire. It's just coming mad, and I do not blame her. Her heart is in danger. And I can blame him, yeah, I can blame him, cause that nigga wasn't 100%. Thinking about line, I won't answer my phone. I just wanna be alone. While I'm throwing through thoughts like I'm filming my ones. My enemies fighting out with me, these wrong. I don't wanna go, but if I got to, then I put on the show. You already gotta make it to the end of the road. I gotta make it to the road. How can I fold? I gotta make it to the road. That's on the top of my soul. That's in my vision. Greatness is right in my business. That's why some people been acting so different. That's why some people been being so distant. That's why some people been acting like I.
Appreciate the money cause I grew up in the hustle. Grew in the hood cause it taught me how to hustle. Went through some hard times when I was down in my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you. I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tin and that white. A nigga play with me, he don't appreciate his life. Tell him.
And I appreciate the things that I've been doing to shape me to be who I am. And I promise that the truth is, handling my business, I'll be I guess in my baby
Something ain't right with this picture I see.
I cut you off
To keep my energy.
You said you love me,
Then why is there beef?
don't need you in my life, just wait in your seat.
I appreciate the money cause I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the hood. Yeah, through some hard time when I was down in my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you.
I appreciate the long days in the trap.
Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tan and the white. A nigga play with me, don't appreciate his life. Yeah,
Come to me, you better come with some respect.
yeah.
Not in my feelings, I'm just telling you what's best. Keep it real, you got animosity. I'm not tripping, but you gon' respect me. I'm
Yeah,
not stressing,
what you talking about? If my hitter come through, rack, rack, rack. You keep on messing with people, come back and tell me what you be saying. You got me, give him a Grammy, he acting.
She ain't no real
Yeah.
living, no family and friends. The struggle only way we just be greater within. I know the people that surround me keep it real.
And that's the ones that keep around, I met in jail. Yeah, in the struggle. Appreciate the hood, cause it taught me how to hustle. Been through some hard times when I was down in my knuckles. I appreciate the money. Yeah, I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road. Yeah, I appreciate the hard tan and that white. A nigga play with me.
Appreciate his life, don't appreciate his life.
Yeah, no we don't, not at all.
This is my new song that's really dry. This
Hey,
one's called Can't Make That Shit Up, because how many of y'all be telling y'all friends something and they look at you like, but you know you telling the truth.
right,
You can't make this shit up. It sound ridiculous.
Right.
It's real talk.
real shit. Come on, tell her. Talk that shit.
And I know it's really hard to keep your head up. And you've been working every day to get your bread up. And seeming lonely at the top and now you're fed up. This shit is crazy, you gon' do what
I
you
can make this shit up.
No.
I get this crazy you go through, but you can't make this shit up. Tell him.
I ain't got no reason to be making up no stories. I ain't even putting actions on it. I've been thinking somehow it just be coming out different. So please excuse me if I tell you I need some distance. I'm trying to get my head right, my energy. I done had people turn from my friends to my enemies. That shit just don't sit right.
And my luck's fucked up.
And I can't lie.
Tell him.
I go through. Everybody can go through. Gotta keep my head up like I'm supposed to.
I cross my heart and hope to die. This shit is crazy what I go through. I can make this shit up.
No, I can make this shit up.
Make this shit up.
No, I can make this. No, I can make this shit up.
And I know it's really hard to keep your head up.
And you've been
Working every day to get that bread up. Lonely at the top. Boy, we are done with them, you know. Yeah. And I know it's really hard to keep them head up. Working every day to get that bread up. Now we done. We done. We done. We done. Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. Let it go. No, I can't make this shit up. I'm just saying. I can't
Right.
make this shit up.
Tell them why.
I definitely appreciate y'all for coming out. Let's talk about Lupus.
But I don't deal with bipolarism every day, every week, every year. But whenever I deal with excessive stress, it then triggers a manic episode. Come to find out, in my family, it is hereditary. I'm not the only person that deals with this. We can go 5, 10 years without an occurrence, and then all of a sudden something excessive happens, and then the stress materializes, and then there's an issue. And this is something that I think about very closely to my heart, but I was terrified to speak upon because I'm not a public speaker, and this is something personal that I've been scared to speak about because with our community, we always have a habit of talking down upon each other and just assuming when it comes to mental health, this is something you can just shake off. It is not something that you can just shake off. It's something that demands for you to take care of it and to actually be proactive. you have to take care of your mental health, because if you don't, there is nothing else that you can do in this world.
Right.
But Janelle had talked to me and she had asked me to speak upon it, and my first thought was no. But then no sooner than I said no, one of my friends had committed suicide and had wrote a public letter on Facebook. And then my heart was like, Andrew, you have to talk. So pretty much what I then did was reach out to all of my friends and everything on social media and just let them know that you are not alone. Hold on, sorry. Let me put it back up. So pretty much my post said, I can be your mental health buddy. This is a non-judgmental zone. Please reach out. I am here for you. You are not alone. And I proceeded to say, I understand and know on many levels the struggles with mental illness and the effects on your daily life. How others judge, how people don't understand and they think you can just walk it off. Mental illness is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It can be induced by stress, drugs, or simply being hereditary. It is an illness that demands to be addressed, or it can ruin your whole life. What's worse than having a mental illness? The way society judges you, the way they assume you can shake it off and don't need help, the fact that they act like your mental illness is a personality trait. When they try to tell you things like you don't need help, you don't need to see a counselor or therapist, you don't need medication or etc. The facts are mental health can hijack your whole life and existence and make you question your worth. I'm here to tell you, you are not your disease. It is okay to get help. You are not alone. You do not have to do this by yourself. You are loved, and the world is a better place with you here.
You run them up to get your numbers up. See, yeah, I'm talking, I'm a stone cold starter, y'all. Yeah, it's about to get hostile. If you never thought it was before, you know I'm hot now. Out of the frying pan into the top now. Over the strong top pop, you better watch out. This music, you can use it as a Q-tip. I got the medicine to make you feel better when you sick. Be careful, don't overdose, don't abuse it. It's top choice every single time you use it. Right about now, need your full cooperation. It's the feel good music, I'm the doctor, you the patient. Worldwide, 5 months of rap to the nation. Hands up, high, side to side, keep it waving.
Whatever, you don't want to hear something. I'm hoping that they want to come in next week.
It's an uphill battle of physical and mental pain. 2 open heart surgeries, a pacemaker, both shoulders and both knees later, I'm still here. To survive the wolf, you have to have a good support system, prayer in your life, faith, heart, and the will to live. I'm 53 years old and I'm still here. We are still here. Yes! Thank you.
No. She talking about That's one of my favorite ones. That's one I should read.
You ain't got it, you can beat it, bitch. Yo, I might make you play the bitch. You think I made a bitch, I don't. I slap the bitch back until she see the shit. Hey, like, do you understand? I ain't tryna do it, man, baby, that ain't in my plan.
And she got that new irresistible parfum from Givenchy. Brand new bottle.
Wow.
Fresh off the shelf.
I ain't playing no games.
Let me know what you think about the smell.
I'm not to mix it with what I already got on Carolina. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I knew then. I wish I knew then what I know now. You gotta be in, but you know now, yeah. I'm back in my bed, back to the paper. What he say? They gon' hate on you now, they gon' hate on you later. Keep it 100 when shit get over. Some people are solid, some people are changed. It's really just part of the game. You're not a part of the game. Look, I had a heart shit change, but now I just know to the I knew that you would change on me.
Come on, preach it.
What'd he say?
What'd he say?
Knew that shit wasn't real, it was fake. I knew that you would change on me.
Yeah, tell your face. It was all in your face.
It was all in your face. Big T Stash Show. We knew it was fake. We knew it was fake. I fuck here syndrome. No, I can relate. Now I got the rest of the safe. I got a few stress to be safe. She be calling me babe. She be calling me babe. Hey,
Now wet as a lake. She wet as a lake. Hey, like all day flake. Hey, yeah, yeah,
what it say?
yeah.
We don't
Come on, tell
It's
him.
really just part of the game. You not a part of the game. I had a heart shit change, but now I'm just up to the pain. The patient we don't entertain. I get a riches free game. Me and the wind the same side to set.
Change on me. Yeah. Simple, yeah. Knew that shit was real, it was fake. Knew that you would change on me. Eyes and on your face. Knew that you would change on me. Knew that you were real, it was fake. Knew that you would change on me. See the feeling in your eyes and on your face. Knew that you would change on me. Yeah. Whoa. Knew that you were real, it was fake.
Knew that you would change on me. In your eyes and on your face. I knew that you would change on me.